That's a great song, isn't it? Absolutely fantastic. I love it. I absolutely love it. So welcome to the Success Formulae Fear into Action seminar. And I'd just like to clear up a couple of points that were asked of me at the beginning here. A couple of people saying, why we call it Fear into Power, Fear into Action, and where did that come from? I'd like to think that, that I invented it, but I didn't. That began about 18, 19 years ago when I first started running firewalks, and I first started working with a guy in the UK. And he pretty much created it, copied it from Tony Robbins' seminar, and so I've yet to come up with a title of what it is I think is the essence of this seminar that really captures it, other than fear into power or fear into action. So here's what we're going to do for you today. This seminar really isn't about fear into action or fear into power. What this seminar really is about X to Y. So it's really about getting yourself to the point where you're in this place that's a real place for you, a place where you've been. It might be a certain state, it might be a way of feeling, it might be a certain thing that's happening for you in your life. And what we're going to do today is we're going to take you through a series of steps so that you can change what you're doing here, so that you can get what you want over here. So it's really all about, if it's possible for you to do these things, then why can't we just get you to reproduce the best you that you can possibly be in those moments where you do this, so that you can reproduce this over here. So that's what really it's about. And I like the analogy of X to C rather than A to B, or even A to Z. X to C. I think we should all think about going from X to C. And so we're going to be doing some exercises. A couple of you have mentioned about the NLP side. Now, when I first started running this seminar, very few people had heard of NLP. There's probably about, if I had a seminar of 100 people, there'd probably be 10 or 15 people that have heard of it. How many here have not heard of NLP? Right, okay, so, a small number, probably 20% or so have not heard of NLP. Fantastic. Well, this is the last time you'll hear about it, because everything that we do today is practical. It's a practical experiential day, so that what we can do is over that day is get you to focus on three things. What we'd like to know is, what three things would you like to do, change, be or have in the next year that would really change your life, that would make your life better for you. So that's what we really want to focus on today. So all the exercises that we run through throughout the day are all focused on you and what you want. Now, in terms of how we're going to do that, and even why we do that, the simple reason is that if we can train you to walk on fire, or perhaps learn to do some of the other things that we might do today. But the fact of the matter is that if we just teach you how to do that, then all you'll be able to do is walk on fire. All of those people that have heard, if you can walk on fire, you can do anything. Well, I'm afraid that's not true. If you can walk on fire, you can walk on fire. That's it. And we could train you to do that in probably 45 minutes. But the question really is what's the point? That is a relatively easy thing to do. We teach you how to be confident, and then we just get you to do it. That's really all it's about. But if we can get you to really understand up here what confidence feels like, what that means, what you do to make you feel confident, then what we can do is we can train you to recognize that and get you to do some great things within your body so that you can have that on tap. Wouldn't that be great? So that's really what we want to do today. We want to teach you that process, because if we can teach you a process of going from fear to confidence, or unmotivated to motivated, if we can teach you that process, then we can also teach you to go from fear to action. So we'll also be able to teach you to go from where you are when you stood in front of the fire to actually taking the action, making that step and going over confidently, calmly and safely. So the real thing isn't about walking on fire, it's actually about fear into action. But it's also about X to C. Because this is about confidence, but aren't there times when, for example, you want to go from argumentative to conciliatory? Aren't there times when you want to perhaps go from anger to compassion? Where if you're typically in an angry state, you don't deal... Who here has found that, you know, if you're getting bad service in a restaurant, that it's ever rewarded by being in an angry state? No, it just gets worse. And then when your food comes out, you're thinking, what have they done with it? So the great thing is that if you can start to control these inner things in your head, then you can actually get better results in your life. Because here's the one thing that I found, is that when you start to think about the 3 things that you would really like to have different for today, when you really think about those things, the kind of emotional states that will help you to get them, you've probably had those emotional states before. So if you've had those emotional states before, then all we need to do is we need to take those, bottle them, and have it so that when you're in this position, you have access to them, so that you can use them and use those states to help you get what you want. So instead of going from here to here, you go from here to here, which is where you want to be. So that really is what the seminar is about. That is really what we do. We sprinkle in some NLP, but mainly it's about you, it's about finding out about you, and then it's giving you some exercises and getting you to practice some things so that when you go away from here, you know, you can make massive changes in your life just from this one day. Now obviously you can go and do other things as well, but you can go away from this one day with these three things in mind and start to move towards them. So that's what our objective is for the day. Okay, so before we kick off with the first exercise, do we have any questions to kick off with?